and give call halal to Yahweh Shem Shai. We do so in his beloved Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I have something very, very, very special for you today, family. So this is Brian the Racist. He has a YouTube channel / radio station / podcast. And they're Republicans, of course, and they just go on and talk about how the illegals need to get out of here, black people need to stop committing crimes or go back to Africa. I mean, just the most racist of the racist things. So I decided to call in and I decided to play chess. And I did that. And what this is going to expose, this is first, we're going to show you how much, I'm going to show you how much these people are obsessed with us. That will be emphatically proven. And it's also going to show you how these people actually think about these people, not just about black people, but people that's not them. And I do want to give you guys a heads up. I came in as an alias. I didn't even give him my Israelite surname. I told him my name is Michael, and I played as a so-called Hispanic. So I'm still an Israelite. I didn't play as a heathen. I'm still an Israelite. And I'll explain why I did these things as the video goes on, and you guys will see why I did what I did. It all makes sense. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it, man.
Audience, so he has like group.
And listen to this, what he's saying as I call in.
Depression, Misery Loves Company. These illegals, what they need are holding areas. These guys aren't going to get trials.
Wow.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Michael. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. How you doing, brother?
All right, Mike in Fort Lauderdale. What's on your mind?
I had a few unrelated questions. I don't know if that's okay with you.
I'll see what the questions are first.
Well, I wanted to know what was your take on reparations? Do you feel like that's something that should be dished out?
Absolutely. Victims of crime, of illegal aliens like the family of Lincoln Riley certainly do deserve reparations from the Democrats for bringing these murderers and rapists into our country. Absolutely.
Now, do y'all hear the pride and the arrogance of this demon? Did y'all hear what he just said? He said, yes, we need reparations from these illegals that's coming in here, killing and raping everybody. Sir, you're an illegal. Brian, you're an illegal. What are you talking about? How did you acquire this land? Hello? How did you acquire this land, Brian? Was it by peaceful treaties or was it by deception? This isn't your land. You see how delusional these people are? How did you guys acquire Canada? Was it by peaceful treaties? Or was it by deception? Don't get me started. But you see, I didn't even head in that conversation. Because I'm already going to cut him up and he already going to hang up on me. So I already knew that. That's why I had to, and that's also, family, I told you to come out as I go along. That's why I decided to play an alias and play kind of like a devil's advocate to a certain extent. Because I already know how these people play. These people can't deal with fact and logic. They deal with feelings. And if y'all go back and watch this and read the comments, people, now, of course, it's racist people in the comments egging him on, but it's also people in the comments egging me on, agreeing and pointing out how everything I'm saying is a fact and how he couldn't deal with logic, so he had to resort to insults and all of that. And all that's true. Go back and watch the video. Let's continue, though. We just getting started.
Is that what you were talking about?
Not particularly.
Oh.
What do you think about the Asian hate bill that was passed? Do you feel like
The Asian hate. When you talk about reparations, what?
Did you see how he shrugged his face about the Asian hate bill? These people don't give a damn about anybody but themselves. And we don't give a damn about mongoloids either. Okay? I'm just, again, I told you, I'm playing devil's advocate because I knew if I would have came in as soon as I said reparations, and see, I'm finna show you how obsessed they are with us. As soon as I said reparations, he would subconsciously think, oh, just go to black people. And I'm finna go into that. No, it's not limited to just black. That's why I said Asian hate bill. That was a systematic reparation. And it was induced by one or two, three separate incidents of Asians getting attacked. That's literally where that bill came from. When have anybody ever just sat around and just, oh my God, man, Asians, oh, people just keep killing Asians. I don't know why the police keep killing Asians. They shoot them for no reason. They harass them. They racial. Dude, get out of here. We all know that's full of crap. This is just white America doing anything and everything to better their economy at our expense. Because as quiet as it's kept, when they did that, that pissed us off. You know, that just shows how much this country don't give a damn about us. Let's continue, though. This man is hilarious. Watch this.
What are you talking about?
Well, just in general, reparations means to amend somebody from wrongdoing, whether that's monetary.
Oh, you mean black people getting reparations?
Did I say black people? I started with Asian hate bill, and I just gave him the definition of amends because he's acting like he don't know, and he's really stupid. I said amends means to reconcile somebody of wrongdoing. And he said black people. Now, and see, that's how you know psychologically these people know we've been wrongdoing. But see, you see how much you see how much they're obsessed with us. I didn't even say them, but I'm glad you said that. Let's continue.
Reparations for slavery?
No, it's not limited to black people.
Well, who else would get them?
Anybody that's been wrongdoing.
Anybody that's been wrongdoing? I mean, that's like everybody. Everybody has been wronged. Everybody's been wronged at some point in their life. Huh?
But as far as reparations is not limited to, but it includes chattel slavery. So
chattel slavery? Let me ask you this question.
And the reason why I said it's not limited to, but it concludes chattel slavery is because that's the most primary thing that needs to be reparated. Everybody knows that. Okay? When people think of reparations, which is why he hurled about black people, that's what they think of. Okay? I just decided to play. I didn't even mention. That's why I said, let's go with Asians. And I started with the Asian hate bill. Because again, that's a reparation. It's just a systematic reparation. And it was induced by two or three separate incidents. Let's continue. It gets so much better.
Question. You're a black man in America, right? You're in Fort Lauderdale. You're black.
Now it gets really ignorant. Now you finna see how ignorant he is. And he finna cringe.
No, sir, I'm not black.
What are you? You don't sound white. You Hispanic?
Salaki, I don't mean to keep interrupting. However, I know some of you guys might think he sound ignorant saying you don't sound white. And I understand why you might think that. But no, I got to be fair and I got to be honest. According to analytics, which is based off clinical trials, real life, clinical trials tests have proved that people can determine someone's demographic based off their pitch and their tone. And with speech pathology, people can determine someone's demographic based off their speech. It has been determined, and we all know that. Okay, we know when we know what a white boy sound like. We know what a black person sound like. We know what an East Indian sound like. We know what a Chinese Asian sound like. Even if we can't dichotomize between Mongoloids, oh, that's a Chinese. Oh, that was an Asian. We know it's some Mongolian. When we hear Asian, Malaysian, Chinese man, Japanese man, we know it's some Mongoloid. Okay, so let's continue. But so I gotta be fair, and I mentioned when I went on Berean TV, I thought a white person came on, and I said the same thing, and they said, "Well, how would you know that?" And I said, "Not a problem. I'll tell you that right after we deal with this, because I didn't want to divert off of the situation. We was dealing with Acts 13:1 at that time. Y'all can go back and watch that if y'all want to. And I had to play that safe because it was literally like 40 Christians on there. Nevertheless, let's continue though. Watch this.
Yes, I would be a so-called Hispanic person.
You would be a what Hispanic?
So-called Hispanic. Yes.
A so-called Hispanic. What is your skin color? When you fill out an application and it asks for ethnicity, what do you check?
Now y'all see that? Look how racist he is. Why is he asking me when I fill out an application, what do I check? I just told him I would be a so-called Hispanic. Isn't Hispanic is on the option of demographics to choose on an application? So why is he saying, what is your skin color? What do you pick? Because he's conflating color with ethnicity, and that color doesn't determine ethnicity. Do you guys see how ignorant these people are? And that was going to determine my color of my skin was going to determine the longevity of this conversation and the duration of this conversation. But they're going to eventually form their own assessments, as I knew they would do. This is why I played so much on them. But do y'all see this? Do you see how stupid and ignorant these people are? You just asked me my ethnicity. I said a so-called Hispanic. What color are you? Why does it matter what? You want to see if I'm a Jennifer Lopez Hispanic? Or I don't know. I can't think of another dark skin. Or George Lopez Hispanic? He like a mulatto? You know, why does it matter about color? And this is how you know these people judge people off the color of their skin. He just proved that. And he don't give a damn. He don't give a damn that he's displaying that. This is his channel. It's for racists and Republicans. This they space. This is what they do. These people letting their nuts hang. Y'all should have seen the comments. Go back and read them comments. Now, it was people in the comments taking up for me too. And on him too, saying, look how you running. Look how when you can't deal with logic and history, you result to insult. All of that. But man, this is his channel, so it was predominantly foolishness. Let's continue, man.
Why does skin color matter? There's Asians, that's the color of so-called black people. So skin color.
So are you the color? What color are you? I'm white.
Look, he's so determined about color.
I'm a white boy.
Brian, right? But that's ignorant because Asians that's melanated, so define ethnicity. You're a smart guy. You know
where are you calling me from in Fort Lauderdale?
Confounded.
Howard County Mental Health Unit?
Look, and this when the person in the comments said, look, he can't deal with logic, so he got to resort to insults because he's cut. Why? Let's go. It gets so much better.
Have you been Baker acted or something?
So in Florida, Baker acted is when somebody is involuntarily forced to be housed in a mental asylum for whatever reasons. Your family can Baker act you. You can Baker act yourself. And the state can Baker act you. Okay, but let's continue.
But you just told me to about my color. I was ignorant.
Now I think you've got a problem.
Look at him, y'all see him shuffling and getting his thoughts together. Listen, family, I study sociology. Look how he's stuttering. I think you got a lot of problems. He's shuffling because he knows he's cut and he can't respond with logic. This channel is based off of racism. So now he has to go to insults and he has to try to play I'm white, so I'm right game. And it's all about our economy and our politics. So let's continue. You can't make this stuff. Look at his dumb ass shuffling.
You're not all together there.
Right. You know? Sure.
I mean, what is the point you're trying to make? You keep
I said what my point was, how you feel about reparations. And then you begin to be racist and hurl obscenities about illegal aliens and things of that nature. What are you talking about?
You keep mentioning Asians.
I got you, Brian. Because I just wanted to make that analogy. You try to give me a define my ethnicity on color, but they're melanated Asians.
There's melanated Asians? Oh, my goodness.
You didn't know that?
Watch this, family. And I wouldn't even go show y'all this, but I said some people might know. Look at all of Trump. Oh, my God. This man is insane. Yes, they're melanated Asians. You didn't know that? And see, he's trying to play, there's melanated Asians? Oh, my God. Like what I'm saying is just so absurd. And see, I told y'all, that's the game of I'm white, so I'm right. Now, he's not going to say there's not because he don't know what he's talking about. But he's just got to play that game with his white supremacy. Watch this, family. Let me show y'all. Salakia, I was thinking about something. Salakia. Watch this, family. What is this? What is this? Look, you even got indigenous Asians. Look at this, family. What's this? What is this? Brian. Look at this right here. The black Asians. What is this, Brian? Aboriginal Asians. What is this, Brian? Brian, what is this? Brian, what is this? Now, we all know that. I'm just showing this for edification. Look at this. Man, y'all better stop playing, man. And I can get actual Aboriginal photos from historical sources of these things. That's just something to show y'all in the meantime. But let's continue. Oh, it gets so much better, family. It gets so much better. Right here. Here we go.
Here at Massey, we know a thing or two about houses.
You didn't know that?
We all have melanin. It's just a matter of how much.
Go cut him on that too.
Some have more than others and all this stuff. What is wrong with, let me ask you, what is wrong with you that you wake up on a Monday morning and you're worried about how melanated people are?
That's not my main point of focus.
Well, what is your
Look, he's trying to act like that was my primary topic of discussion. See, he's playing to my white is right. I'm white, so I'm right game. And that's what he has to revert to.
main point? What is your main point?
I got one more question for you, brother. I'll let you go. And with the melanin thing, if we're technical, you guys have 1% of melanin. Nevertheless, do you know when the last human zoo was closed? Are you aware?
The last human zoo? When was the last human zoo closed?
This was get really, really good. And no, he's not aware. He don't even know his own history.
My guess would be when the Democrat National Convention was over in this last election with all the freaks and nuts that were there. But
He's talking about an isolated incident that has absolutely nothing to do with the historical reference that I'm referring to. He's playing the I'm white, so I'm right game again.
no, tell me, when was the last human zoo closed?
Look, I don't give a damn, but go ahead and tell me.
Right. The last human zoo was closed in 1958 in Belgium. And guess who has direct descendants from that human zoo? That was 67 years ago.
Oh, I don't know. Let me guess. Who has descendants from the last human zoo? Watch Trump. It's going to be Trump.
Well, this is public history. You can.
All right, share it with me. Share it with me.
Yeah, because you don't know, and he don't cares about not knowing. He's not concerned. He's a white supremacist.
I am, if you allow me to. So in 1958, the Belgium, those horrible people,
The Belgians.
they were the last people to force. They didn't want to do it. Forcibly have the zoo shut down with so-called African Americans. That was 67 years ago. So you guys can't say, "Oh, that was 200 years ago." No, that was 67.
Well then, so let me ask you: were you held in this Belgian zoo?
Mr. Brian, that's irrelevant. I'm a direct descendant of people that wasn't the question. I was held in a zoo.
Oh, you were. Some of your family were in this Belgian zoo.
Yes.
Who, like your grandma? So what do you want? So what do you want?
Brian, do you realize I still have great grandparents that are still alive from the? You do understand that, right? That was just 67 years ago.
Okay, so you have great grandparents that were in this Belgian. So what do you want Belgium to do for you?
Hold on. So you're telling me my grandparents that's still alive that was literally in that tragedy, they shouldn't get reparations? Is that what you're telling me, Brian?
Reparation from? I find it. I've never heard of this before. I will look it up.
Yeah, because you're uneducated, and you guys, and see, this is how you know they don't know history. And see, this is the same type of white people that when some of our people post historical facts about us, they'll be in the comments saying they was kings and shit. This is the people don't know no history, but saying everything we post is a lie. This is the type of people that be in the comments doing that. This man is the devil the Bible speaks of, Esau. Come on, man. Oh my God. It gets better. It gets so much better.
But I find it hard to believe. I find it hard to believe that.
Wow. Now, he's going to say he finds it hard to believe what I'm saying is true. And then he's going to go look it up and confirm what I said is true. But he's going to try to downplay it. But I'm going to explain that. So, like, watch this.
What year did you say this happened in?
You can find anything hard you want.
What year did this end? What year did this
1958.
So in 1958, you mean to tell me that the Belgians went and kidnapped black people and put them in a zoo against their will?
No. So for edification, that's when the institution of the human zoo was ended. They had acquired all those people in the ending of the early 1800s, like all the way towards the end, in the early 1920s, I believe, or the early of 19th century. So he's not listening, trying to be logical. He's trying to be funny. But let's continue.
Belgium.
No. So listen, I don't know.
Or did they have a facility where they hired people to do it? Were your grandparents paid to be in this place?
No. We gonna go into
I'll
that.
wait for you to be done. You're done?
Well, I got to take a break, but I got to tell you something. You really need psychiatric help. Not
Here we go with the insults.
Therapy. You need a psychiatrist. You're a mental patient.
I'm a mental patient because I seek for the wrongdoings to be corrected.
Well, I don't know why. If this thing happened in Belgium, what fault is it of America? This isn't Belgium. You need to go.
Wow. Holy crap. Excuse me, Brian. Belgium is part of NATO. U.S. has an alliance with 40 countries. I believe 40 countries, 40 or 44 countries. I believe it's 40 or 44, with 44 or 44 countries in Europe. It's only like 15 that they don't have an alliance with. I can name like 4 or 5 off my head. Austria, Bosnia, Kosovo. I can't think of I can't remember all 15 that they don't have an alliance with. But Brian, what the hell are you talking about? Belgium is part of NATO. America has an alliance with them. You people, so you telling me, now look how they want to play this game of, that happened with Belgium. Did y'all say that when them Russians was killing them Ukrainians? Huh? Or did y'all sign petitions to have them come over here and give them aid and welfare? You see how Esau, which is the biblical name for the so-called white man, you see how he plays games and use things to his benefit and try to act like we just so inconsiderate and so delusional and just have minds of victimhood? You people are insane. And this is why the Lord said y'all got to go. And we're going to get a few scriptures. Let's continue. It gets better.
To Belgium and take your grievances with him. All right, appreciate the call. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back.
Now, he's going to look up what I said. He's going to go off camera. This is how you know you got cut bad. He's going to go off camera and look it up. Then he's going to come back and say, I got it. And he's going to go into a few things. And I'm going to explain things on the way, okay? Because it's some facts and history, statistics I have to put with these things, okay, for edification.
What a nutbag.
Oh, for sure, Brian. For sure. He's looking it up. He's going to let you guys know in a few seconds.
Hold on, guys. this up. The human zoo in Belgium.
Okay, now watch this, family. I want to just, I'm just at 39. I'm going to skip to it, okay? So remember, okay, I'll just tell you that when we get to it. Okay, it's at 39. Let's get to it. Let's just skip to it. Okay, let's just go ahead and skip to it. Let's just go ahead and skip to it. Okay, here we go, family. Watch this.
And at the time, Belgium built a mock African village at the 1958 Brussels World Fair. Okay, and at the time, Belgium still controlled the Congo. It was a colony of theirs.
That's correct. Now he's reading commentary, so now he's correct. That was a colony of theirs.
So they brought people from the Congo to Belgium for the World's Fair. They say they thought it would be a cultural exchange, says a historian with the Royal Museum for Central Africa. Instead, they found themselves standing behind a bamboo fence on live display for Europeans, some of whom made monkey noises to get their attention. They were throwing bananas and peanuts to the Congolese, which is what I guess they call people from the Congo.
He can't even pronounce it. It's Congolese.
Congolese are people that grew up in Belgium and Congo.
Now he just cut himself. Now remember, he said that he just cut himself. He said they were and they were. That's right. They were brought over there, and their kids grew up over there, and it was people, the predecessors, the aunties, uncles, all of them. They resided there as well, and they were they reproduced there, so their kids grew up there. Now, how did they grow? How did their kids? How were their kids in a situation where they had to be subject to those things? Because they was forced, Brian, with deception and guile. And he's gonna say, "Oh, but were they paid?" No, they weren't paid, dummy. They probably gave them, and I believe they didn't give them anything monetarily. They provided a shack for them, and every now and again, when Billy Bob is holding a damn concert, they were allowed to bring. And I'm kind of being facetious, but I'm serious. These are actual situations. When Billy Bob having a damn concert or a get together, because they would do things like that as well. I believe I didn't go into that, but we gonna start going into those things. A lot of the times, people that was held us black folks that was held captive, we couldn't participate with those things. But every now and again, remember this is in 1958, so it's not as bad as the 1700s or the 1800s. Because slavery wasn't abolished everywhere in 1865. That's another lesson. Nevertheless, let's continue though. I don't want to get too off track. Let's continue though. He's gonna cut it. He just cut himself.
The Congolese protested. They wanted to be respected and not seen as animals in a zoo, and that was in 50.
Oh, why did they want to be respected and not seen as animals in a zoo? Huh? If it was a bargaining chip. Get your dumb ass out of here, man.
So what that guy said was not true, was not accurate, okay?
Yes, it was, and I'm finna prove it. Watch it. I told you, I said I was playing devil's advocate, but watch this. I'm still finna debunk him.
They had the World's Fair. They put on a cultural display, kind of like Epcot Center at Walt Disney World.
Look how he tries to compare it to Disney World like it's not a big deal. Oh my God, man.
Put on a cultural display of an African village from the Belgian.
He calls it a cultural display, what we endured.
Colony of the Congo. And so go the reports, which we don't know if they're true or not. These are all liberal reports.
Excuse me. I've done extensive research on these things, which I know you don't know that. You don't know me. But you just looked up commentary briefly for 10 seconds. Yes, it's true. It's several historical sources that substantiates all these things. I can even give you those sources if you was interested, but we know you're not.
I don't see any film of it or anything. Some people threw some bananas and made monkey noises that went to the fair. These were not people that were held in bondage. They were it sounds as if they were.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
were brought here and paid.
Hold on. Now look how he cut. And I'm finna cut him. He just said it sounds like that they were brought here and paid. But he just read in an article, and I'm very familiar with that standard article that he read. Because if you look up on AR or anything, that it's a standard article that comes up about this. And he talking about this from liberals. This is why I tell you guys, the people that I talk to and that listen to me concerning morality and history and things of that nature, this is why I tell them, cite several historical sources. This is how you prove lies. Cite several historical sources and with substantial scripture. This is how you prove these things. And that's just what we're finna go into scripture. Don't worry. But I got to prove him with secular. I got to cut him with secular history real quick. And we still not done.
In this reenactment of an African village in the Congo, much like they used to have in colonial Williamsburg.
Okay, and let me say this. So, no, family. Now, of course, I said I was Hispanic. Nevertheless, so during the transatlantic slave trade, a lot of us also were took from Central America. Central Africa, which is where the country Congo is. So it's, and scholars openly, anybody can fact check this. Scholars openly admit that 60% of so-called blacks in America are biological Jews. Now, they predicate that off of us being from West Africa, primarily Nigeria, coming from the Igbo tribe, being descendants of Israel, and the Congo. So he's finished. So it's literally African Americans right now in America that would, on a carnal, secular side, would be descendants of that region in the Congo. So you're stupid debunked and finished. And everybody knows he don't know history. He don't know what he's talking about. But let's continue.
Right? You ever been to or the Renaissance Fair? You ever been to the Renaissance Fair? It's a similar thing as the Renaissance Fair. It's no big deal.
Do y'all hear this, man? And he's not joking, family. He's serious, has a heart attack. So people having bananas thrown at them, being mocked, because when you actually go into the commentary of actual adequate and accurate historical sources, they had rocks thrown at them, they had feces thrown at them, and they were beguiled into doing that. Everybody knows that black people are stupid. Jeremiah 4:22. And you best believe we was really stupid back in the early mid-19th century, late 1800s. All our existence, not all our existence, but, because at one point in time, we did well for ourselves before we start going into idolatry and things of that nature. But he don't know what the hell is going on, man.
This guy's whole life is built around it. All right, getting back on topic.
So that was his little brief synopsis of that history. Did you hear him mention how long it lasted? Of course, because he doesn't know. You see what I'm talking about, family? You see how he tried to compare our trauma with a Renaissance fair? So at Renaissance fair, people are held against their... So hold on. If they weren't held against their will, which they were, can prove that with several historical sources as well. They were beguiled, kind of like the Native Americans. Why were they behind cages and bamboo sticks, Brian? Confounded. Why couldn't they just stand out in the open? This is really sad, man. Let me get a few scriptures and I'm out of here. But I hope somebody got some edification out of that, man. Esau is truly, truly something, man. He really is. Let's get Bible Gateway. I just want to get one or two scriptures, fam. Just one or two. Let's get Isaiah 10. Let's get Isaiah 10. This is Isaiah 10:1. Woe means destruction. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. That's what the Belgium did to those people. They gave them unlawful, unrighteous decrees, and our people believed it. They looked at it as something significant, kind of like with the Native Americans. when they had beguiled them with their wicked, deceptive treaties. Verse 2, to turn aside the need from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. And this is what they did since the beginning of our captivity. I'm talking all the way from times of antiquity. And this goes into the curses as well. They robbed the fatherless. And what does it mean they robbed the fatherless? One of the curses is in Deuteronomy 28 that they would take our children from us, and we would long and wait for our children all day. Alligator bait. They took our children. They had sex slave houses. Had us mating with our own children, especially in Virginia and West Virginia. And that cycle repeated. And a lot of our people grew up fatherless. And this is why that trauma has transcended all the way now to the 20th century. That's how you know these curses are real and they have longevity. Let's continue. Verse 3. And that will ye do in that day of visitation and in the desolation which shall come from far, to whom ye will flee for help, and where you will leave for your glory. So I just wanted to show y'all how these people pronounce their unrighteous decrees and that right grievousness which they have to prescribe. All these things they have said. Let's put black people in the zoo and laugh at them, and it'll be a thing. This is the place where we'll become to mock the monkeys and the animals. And we're going to dress. Oh, man. Y'all, go look up the history. Go look how nice they used to dress up for this. This is how you know these people looked at us literally as like tools, equipment. Okay? Let's get... Hold on 1 second, family. Okay, I had to make sure. Okay. Let's get what did I want to get? I wanted to get one more. Let's get Isaiah 56. Okay, let's get Isaiah 56 and we go close with this, family. Okay. I said I was gonna start doing like scripture other days. I gotta start back doing that. What is it? Isaiah 56 and hold on, family. Let me see. Hold on. No, this is not it. Salakia, family. Hold on, that's not what I want. 1 second. Salakia, family. It's Isaiah 55, I believe. Salakia, I'll close with this, family. There's one more I wanted to get. Okay, verse 7. Here we go. Isaiah 55 and 7. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him. And to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. What is I want? Hold on, this is it, but this is one scripture I want particularly. Hold on, where is it? Where is it? Hold on, fam. This is not it. No, this is not it. Hold on. It got to be Isaiah 57. It got to be Isaiah 57. Hold on, family. Salakia. Where is it? Salakia family. It's been a while since I went to this one. I gotta find this. Y'all know I never give up. I gotta find this scripture. I don't know if y'all know. Well, I'm saying like y'all live. Okay, is this it? No, that's not. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Salakia. Here we go. Isaiah 57 and 20. Okay, I thought it was Isaiah 56 and like 20. Okay, that's why I was surprised when I went to Isaiah 56 and it was 12 chapters. Nevertheless, Isaiah 57:20. But the wicked are like the troubled sea when it cannot rest, whose water cast up mere and dirt. There is no peace, saith my God, to the wicked. And the reason why, let me go ahead and screenshot that. Salakia family. Salakia. Screenshot that. I ain't gonna forget it now that I. Oh God. I'll just get the chapter then. I ain't gonna forget it now that I got it. Salakia. Okay, so the reason why I went to that is because the scripture say, "But the wicked are like the troubled sea when it cannot rest." I don't know about y'all from Florida. I've been on a ship in the water. You know how I've been on a ship in the ocean before, and I know from standing on the sand, it might look like the waters are at rest. And I know this also is inducive with the wind. But man, when you get in that water, and it's like when you actually in it, if you don't know how to swim, man, it's even hard swimming. It's like the waves, no matter how high you try to stay out the water, and the waves don't even got to be coming high. You can be all the way back in the ocean. The waves are going to hit you in your face, and you have to keep like moving and like hopping up over the water and like catching the right angle so you won't swallow the water and so you can breathe. And it don't stop. It's continuous. That's what the Most High said Esau wickedness like. Okay. And this also goes into the wickedness of the Israelites. But we know the border of wickedness is Esau. Malachi chapter 1. Okay. Salakia, for that little hunting scripture I just went on, family. Nevertheless, and I just say that because I know everybody's time is precious. Nevertheless, I want to give call halal to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We do so on his beloved son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Few announcements. I got Elder Obed coming on. He will be, I believe I'm going to do that next week. I can't wait. I'm very excited. He's excited. If y'all don't know Elder Obed, he's an elder in Israel that's notorious for walking up on Jehovah's Witness and theologically giving them the business in the most humble, hilarious way. I can't wait to talk to him. We're going to talk about everything. So you don't want to miss that. I know that's going to be a big video for AOE, for Angels of Elect. What I was going to say, is that it? Also, stay tuned. The Fallen Angels class is coming up. I just like building up tenacity. If y'all noticed, which I'm sure y'all did, and it works. And tenacity literally means the ability to firmly grip something, whether it's figuratively or physically. So I just like to build it up, get in y'all minds. You know what I mean? So when it's presented, you guys can receive it a little bit better. Nevertheless, that's all for today, family. I hope this was edifying to all, if not for some. I want to give call halal to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We do so on his beloved son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Until next time, family, shalom.